Welcome to Trade Finder, a series where I take a look at the NBA standings and see what team's struggling that may need some trades done. You guys voiced your opinion in the last video saying you guys wanted to see the Houston Rockets, so today I'm going to be looking at the Houston Rockets, who are currently the 7th seed and won a crucial Christmas game against the San Antonio Spurs. The Rockets aren't living up to what their expectations were starting this season. Already firing Coach McHale and rumors of Dwight Howard not being happy, it's been a very stressful season for them. There's reports saying that Ty Lawson is being shipped around because he's underperforming, but who would want Ty Lawson, especially after the way he's been playing recently? Well, you're in luck, because today, in this episode, we have 3 trades revolving around Ty Lawson. I won't be doing any Dwight Howard trades in this video because Dwight Howard has openly admitted he's not going anywhere this season. I personally think he won't be traded this season. If he leaves the Rockets, it'll probably be in free agency. Whether or not he picks up his player option is still unknown. But if he wanted to sign anywhere else, he would do that in free agency most likely and would not demand a trade for a team he wanted to play on to begin with. So let's take a look at the first trade that we have proposed between the Houston Rockets, Milwaukee Bucks, and Dallas Mavericks. They did a 3-team trade. The Rockets get O.J. Mayo, Envyerz Vasquez, J.J. Barea. The Bucks get Ty Lawson, and the Dallas Mavericks get K.J. McDaniels and Jason Terry. Now let's take a closer look at what the Rockets get from this trade. They get 2 backup point guards along with O.J. Mayo, who could play the 2 and the 1. Ty Lawson himself is a 2-year contract worth around $12 million. By trading him away to the Bucks, they get 2 guards who are worth just a little bit over his contract and who are both, more importantly, expiring contracts. And all 3 players can bring a veteran presence because they've been in the playoffs before. It may not look like much, but considering how much Ty Lawson's value has diminished, it's a lot for the Houston Rockets to get anything out of Ty Lawson. And if the Rockets can actually do this trade, it'd be a miracle. Now let's take a closer look at what the Bucks get from this trade. Obviously, they only get Ty Lawson. By trading away 2 guards, Ty Lawson as a backup for Michael Carter-Williams doesn't seem that bad after all. And hey, maybe if Ty Lawson gets traded to the Bucks, he could actually resurrect his career back when he was in Denver, because I'm pretty sure weed isn't legal in Milwaukee. So, you never know. I find it a perfect fit for Ty Lawson to ease into the starting lineup or be a backup to Michael Carter-Williams, considering how terrible Michael Carter-Williams did in the beginning of the season. And he's kind of picking it up. With this trade, the Bucks look like a complete team. And lastly, moving on to the Dallas Mavericks rotation, they get Jason Terry and K.J. McDaniels, 2 guards. And 1 guard in particular, K.J. McDaniels, who is getting no run with the Houston Rockets. I'm not sure if it's injury or whatever is holding him back, but the Rockets are giving this man absolutely 0 PT. So maybe with the Mavs, he'll get more playing time and he could actually be a decent player. Both the Dallas Mavericks and the Milwaukee Bucks look like more complete teams with this trade, but unfortunately, the team we're trying to help doesn't improve all that much either. They really don't get any assets unless they do decide to re-sign O.J. Mayo or Envyerz Vasquez, but they're really lacking a big man presence besides Dwight Howard, just in case he decides to leave in free agency. Well, say no more, because with this next trade, they get a big man presence. If they can't pull off a 3-team trade, the Houston Rockets can easily trade with the Phoenix Suns for Markieff Morris, Mirza Teletovic, and Archie Goodwin by giving up Ty Lawson to the Phoenix Suns and Terrence Jones. Unlike the last trade, this one focuses a little bit more on big men presence with Markieff Morris, and like Ty Lawson, Markieff Morris has diminished value. The Rockets would get a starting power forward who could possibly stretch the floor, along with Mirza Teletovic, who's an expiring contract, and a young talent in Archie Goodwin, who probably just get as many minutes as K.J. McDaniels, unfortunately, which is absolutely 0. But the important thing is they filled out their roster. By doing this trade, the Rockets look like a completely better team because it looks more complete and filling. Both Markieff and Archie Goodwin probably want out of Phoenix, Markieff more in particular. But let's take a look at the Phoenix Suns rotation and see how much better of a team they are. They get Terrence Jones, who's really been ineffective for the Houston Rockets, and Clint Capella is starting over him, along with Ty Lawson to back up Brandon Knight instead of Ronnie Price. Now, there's a big question, does Phoenix really need another point guard? Because look at all the guards they have on this team. Well, I mean, one more isn't really going to kill you, especially one more that might actually turn his career around once he gets to a better scene. Personally, I don't believe Ty Lawson is a starting point guard anymore. unless he magically turns it around like Darren Williams did with the Mavericks. Like, he doesn't need to have a spectacular year. He just needs to have a solid one. And maybe with the Phoenix Suns as a backup point guard to Brandon Knight, he'll do so. Lastly, the most realistic trade that I have proposed is between the Houston Rockets and the Milwaukee Bucks. Once again, and the trade's relatively simple. The Rockets get OJ Mayo and Johnny O'Bryant, while the Bucks get Ty Lawson. It's as simple as it gets. The Rockets get an okay big man in Johnny O'Bryant to add to their players that can protect the rim, along with getting OJ Mayo, who could play the backup point guard for Patrick Beverley, or even slide into that 2 position behind James Harden. With James Harden on the Rockets, I don't feel like the Rockets need an amazing point guard, and I feel like Patrick Beverley is a solid point guard to start with James Harden because he doesn't necessarily need the ball in his hands to do well. He's a defensive glue guy, and that's part of the reason why I believe Ty Lawson did not just work out so well in Houston, because unlike Patrick Beverley, Ty Lawson needs the ball in his hand to score. He needs the ball in his hand like he had in Denver. So if we take a look at the Bucks rotation with this trade, it's similar to the first trade that we did in this episode, and I think it would be a perfect fit for Ty Lawson and the Milwaukee Bucks, because last year the Bucks lost a dominant point guard who has the ball in his hands and is an effective scorer from the outside in Brandon Knight. And although Ty Lawson is not a Brandon Knight type player, maybe he can become what he once was. By the Bucks trading away for Mike Carter-Williams and giving up Brandon Knight, they lost an outside presence, because if you look at the Bucks team, their best three-point shooter is probably Chris Middleton, and then it drops off to Chris Copeland. The Bucks don't necessarily need Ty Lawson because it is a very low risk picking him up just by losing OJ Mayo, who's probably been their best point guard, unfortunately, because Mike Carter-Williams has not been performing so well at the beginning of the season. But it's taking a chance on Ty Lawson to see what he is able to bring to your team, and I think that's exactly what the Bucks need. They need that point guard who can score off the dribble and maybe can be once the player he once was. And those are the 3 trades I have listed to try to help improve the Houston Rockets, because as of right now, they're probably not going to be getting anything special for Ty Lawson, and all of these trades are very, very appreciative of what they can probably not get back in return. I don't think the Rockets will get anything as good as I listed in these trades. Maybe they'll get a Markieff Morris type player. Who knows? Because just like Ty Lawson, he's diminished in value. But be sure to leave your opinions in the comment section below, whether or not you agree or disagree with my trades, along with adding any other trades that you think might work for getting Ty Lawson off the team. And like last time, be sure to suggest the team you want me to do next. Lastly, if you guys haven't noticed already, my mic audio changed from the beginning of the video to the end of the video. The end of the video is my new mic, the Blue Yeti. I still got to do a lot of things to make the quality sound a little bit better, change the settings a little bit, buy a pop filter, but all that's going to take time. But hopefully now my mic quality is a lot better than what it was, and hopefully you guys can stop complaining and saying I need a new mic, when in reality it's just my voice. A mic's not going to change how I sound like. But I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.